Welcome. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Tuesday morning in New York, Tuesday afternoon here in London. And yeah, we're going to be looking at the market open in about 10 minutes time. No major news today. We'll just have a quick look at the economic calendar. You can see we're going to be trading the API crude oil later on tonight, right on the end of New York session. As you can see, there's been no kind of major news. Tomorrow is the day. We've got this current account Q3, which is the worst than expected results. There's still a thing we can go on to, guys, in a down, but we're already thinking that US30 is probably going to take a downward dive towards this support level of 35213. So we might look at grabbing 100 pips that way, then we might look at grabbing 100 points pips on the flip side on the buy up to this level here. That now. It's been in a tight range, it's formed a nice W, we've done a double top, we've done two taps there. So the pattern sort of says that we're going to be, you know, coming down this way. Maybe down to that neutral support line. We do a quick 10 minutes analysis. See the shape patterns that have been drawn today.
But now the question is really what goes on with the labor market. And if anything surprised us coming out of last week's Fed meeting, it was kind of this shift in how the Fed is communicating its approach to this maximum employment mandate. Before, we were operating under the assumption
that in the group. Obviously, as before, if you like to find out information about joining the group, then obviously go to the website www.mohawkforex.com. All the information is there, and in the description of the channel below, where you gain access to our Discord trading group and access to all the setups, daily setups, and how to scalp on a 3-minute time frame, and our Axe trading system, which I'm using right here in front of you. So like I said, we're getting ready for the open. This is what we're kind of seeing. Obviously, there's going to be some manipulation and ups and downs. That's why we scalp both ways on the open, and then the market should settle down, hopefully into a bit of a drop. I know they're calling this Reversal Tuesday today, after all the losses yesterday, but for us on a 3-minute time frame, we're still going to look to take these sells and grab the buys when we get the confirmation from our RSI, which, as you can see, is nicely placed in the neutral zone right now. So that's US30 looked at. We're going to have a quick look at oil as well, as oil has been picking back up again. See, nice W, didn't do the drop. That was about as good as you got, but oil could have had a re-entry just now. So we're going to be watching this. This is going to be really good to keep an eye on, and our good old favourite gold as well, which has been in a range for most of the day. We waited for a little dip, which we didn't get till kind of now, hit our TP just a few minutes ago. So we're going to be looking at this, but I think on the open we might get a little push up to the buy. Again, I think gold's going to do the same thing. We're going to be looking for sells and buys on this, and again we want to be going probably 50 points to be on the safe side either way. We'll enter the trades like 1 minute before the open. Got a chance of getting 50 each way. At the moment it's looking like it wants to drop down and touch this before reversing up, and then your TP level is going to be our breakout line here, which is indicated by the dot. As you can see, these blue zones come in when there's a support level that needs to be recognized. This is where I usually would end my trade as soon as I see a blue zone form, and if it sticks then you can get out your trade because you know it's going to hold a little bit. We've got a trend line here, so we want to see a trend line break as well before a serious buy and above here, but we can still scalp this back to this breakout line here, which is going to be, you know, 100 points, but I'll look for 50. So that's in US30 in the range, look perfectly. So it's going to spike both ways, we know that.
Omicron is raising some fresh supply chain concerns just as Nike and Micron overcome disruption stemming from the Delta variant. That conversation up next. This is Bloomberg.
Well,
For investors who can navigate this landscape, leveraging gold, a strategic and sustainable asset. The path
Get
is
ready.
clear, with the potential for rich returns.
Years ago, this was the site of a bitter battle between India and China. 6 decades down the line,
So we've got that news, pre-market news that was to the downside, as you can see.
border dispute.
Coming to count Q3.
Have ended in a stalemate.
You can see there. So that might give us a little bit of an edge towards the downside as well.
Soldiers are hunkering down. India has reinforced
We'll definitely keep an eye on that. We're logged in. Sure, we're up on our look at oil as well. We've got consumer confidence coming up in 33 minutes. We'll have a quick look at that as well, because that might be one for us to trade on the DAX, which is rare in the afternoon, but we might just do that. You know, we're scraping around a little bit for news events at the moment. I know there's COVID and Omicron, everything's been pushed down, and then there's the reversals. But I mean, tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow's a great day for news. We're going to be live for, you know, 3-4 hours tomorrow. Consumer confidence, existing home, cargo fed, GDP, it's all there tomorrow, and then we end on the crude oil as well. So a big day tomorrow. Not such a long live stream today, but I just wanted to try these minor news events out. We did well on the DAX, on the consumer confidence. This one played out. We took the buy in the reverse pre-market, and we took the sell when the market opened and got the wins. Got a coffee on. So we've got about 2 minutes to go before we look at taking some trades. A quick check back on the charts. As you can see, look, there you go. US30 set on our support, our grid system here. We're looking for a spike down of, like say, 100 points or so. Be 5 down to our level, and then hopefully we'll potentially get a buy on this. Then gold, exactly the same. You're probably going to get a buy initially, 100 points. NY open, and then a drop as well, where in place. So here we go with what we've been shown market structure. Getting on some of this, let's see what we can get. Fly. Got about 1 minute 30 seconds to go till the open. Let's see if we get some nice little spiking. So we'll just watch US30 from the open and see if we get the buy and the sell. Gold's doing really well. We're already in profit on gold. We're already about $100 up on gold. Going to hold that until we get a bigger move. Switch to gold. Look, gold. There you go. Look, gold. We've got a buy going, so we just want to spike up to our line here.
步入工作岗位，然后对这个工作更加熟悉，然后调整好心态，就能够在赛时去一个更加自信、更加昂扬的一个姿态去迎接来自世界各地的代表团的外宾们。
Protesters breached the Capitol.
Democracy has prevailed.
A flash mob decided to take on the shore.
Giant container ship blocking the Suez Canal. 1,000 new types of crypto coins.
So we're getting ready. About 30 seconds left. We get to the open.
Of U.S. forces from Afghanistan.
We did not get everybody out.
Rising energy prices.
In Europe, it's a huge crisis.
The Omicron variant has triggered a global rush.
So we can go both ways. It's 30, That beautiful, beautiful spike up. What we're going to do on US30 is get in on the sell as well. Here we go. That candle, that fly, re-enter. Let's all play out. Either way, I'm just going to go in on gold as well. Yep, nice sell to the downside.
We have to wonder how much follow-through action there actually is going to be. Most stocks pre-market are in positive territory. You heard the opening bell right now.
That beautiful, beautiful spike up on US30.
A risk-on kind of day. You have the dollar a little bit weaker. You have bonds.
So we've got the sell, we've got the buys.
Particularly on the back end, the 10 and the 30 really re-rating there, up by about 4 basis points in the 10-year. And like I mentioned,
Certainly levels on these ones. Look at that push up. It's brilliant. Let's hit our TP here. Look on the buy. We've not got the sell yet. We're going to enter sell at the top. Wait for this to pull back. Great price action. How you do it? As soon as I saw that green, we were in. Same as on gold. Look. Gold decided to drop. That's fine. Hit our TP on there. Now we're looking for the buy. Come back. RSI is dropping, so we're sticking on the sells. Like I said, if it breaks here, if it is this week, we're going to do sells. We're both ways, so we're all good. We just sat. No panic. We know what the market's going to do. We know how it reacts.
Have kind of a battle between still good corporate fundamentals, and I think that's going to be the story next year.
Beautiful spike. Look at that.
Expansion, you don't get the liquidity pump from the Fed.
All right, Elise Eisenbach, Eric Knudsen, and Henry Peabody still with us. Okay, that begs the question here. Where do we think we're going to end 2022? What's the kind of return? Let's give me your base case here. Eric, you pick it up first.
3-4 minutes.
Equity markets are,
Fine.
you're going to benefit from 7 to 10%, maybe 12%.
In profit on gold. Well in profit on gold at the moment, so we're holding on to that.
And so you're in the mid to high single digits for the year for the S&P. A little better opportunities in smaller companies overseas, reflationary beneficiaries. That's going to outperform.
And the two trades on gold.
Our fixed income colleagues
Took 28 and 24, so that's about $100 there.
Not a lot
Good.
above and beyond, other than some volatility and some opportunity to trade tactically, and credit will outperform governments over this time period.
All right, Elise, what about you?
Sure. So for S&P 500, we see low double-digit return potential from here, somewhere in the realm of 10 to 12% from current levels. And
US30 now. Just wait for a dip. We'll get a re-entry on the RSI at 75. If that happens, if not, we will take the sell.
And just ongoing risks throughout. Similarly, outside of the United States, we do maintain a preference for development.
There's your gold. Look, hit our TP. Look on the buy. So that was a nice win.
And also in Japan, given the
Reset.
recent news of
Went down, then up. I said it would do. When you've got no kind of news, major news.
What kind of return do you think we're going to see in the credit market, say, versus the bond market?
I'm glad you didn't ask me about equities, so thank you very much. I guess the way that I think about it, as opposed to forecasting return, is try to think about what risks.
US30 at the moment. Yep, still in the buy zone. We'll watch this RSI.
With a rise in real yields, we want to stay.
It goes 75. Obviously, we're going to take a buy. It's just dropping now, so we're in profit on the sell.
Global portfolios that I manage with Pilar Gomez Bravo and Andy Lee, we're really
Nice if we can get a couple $100 out of this open. So we're about 100 up on gold. What do you see you're going to do?
If you add a benchmark into, for example, commercial real estate CLOs, CMBS, it favors probably a high yield allocation with less of that rate risk as we're early on in the hiking cycle.
Wow.
And it also ties in with probably continued.
Again, I expect that to drop as well.
For local EM. So I think you need to be a little careful around rate risk.
So we initially went for the sells on US30 and the buys on gold. So that's all we're waiting for. We're in profit. We're just hanging on, just waiting to see. Like I say, if the initial candle goes against you, doesn't matter. Hold your trade, wait for the candle, and then wait for the rejection, and then get the sell on the top. It's simple. And then you can either cancel the trades to end in a break even, or let it come back down so you're both in profit.
partly to account for Omicron impact.
This is where if you'd set a TP, a stop loss, you see, on these opens, which I never do, look what would have happened. You'd have been stopped out. You'd have put a sell in here. Here would have been your stop loss. You'd have gone. That's it. Whereas at the moment, now I'm in profit on a sell. So,
dig into Nike. Obviously, it has been dogged by supply chain issues, given how reliant
see,
on production in Asia, where factory
pattern has been
like Vietnam created major challenges.
Messed up with at the moment, but it's because it hasn't broken our trend line. It kind of dipped down, hadn't really broke it. So this is what we're looking at the moment. But I'm still, you know, it is what it is. Still not a W. Now we're getting a re-entry on the buy. And we should be able to get a sell on this as well.
Percentage points profit boosted by the fact that the company doesn't have to mark down its products as much because there's not a lot of inventory and demand is really strong.
Session pushes up.
It gave a better than expected outlook thanks also to strong demand
These
for
where bonus trades are.
Networking, data center, and automotive customers, which actually make up the bulk of DRAM memory end use when it comes to revenue. And there's a supply side story here too, Alex, because computer makers, which of course are Micron's customers, were faced with a shortage of parts.
So we're about $100 up, and we're about $100 down. We're about break even at the moment. That's fine.
Availability of some of those other components, they can build more computers, and that translates into.
That's always the first 15 minutes.
Such a good point, Kaylee. Thanks very much.
So look at gold.
The fact that demand is outweighing other concerns at the moment.
Range look, as we said. Spike down the open, then up by TP. US30.
We do. Demand is
There we send that. There you go. There's the buy done on the US30. Even though I'm looking to take sells, grabbed another $35 on that. What was that? About a minute. So that will do nicely.
You know, we remain quite optimistic about the durability of demand in the year ahead, especially given all of the pent-up savings accumulated throughout the pandemic.
So, Eric, on that point, does that mean that retail, tech, are going to remain kind of good bets here if demand's going to be that strong?
Yeah, we're playing kind of this in a barbell fashion. On one side, we are overweight semiconductors.
You see, as soon as I saw it flash in that zone I was in, even though I want to sell, I'm going to go with what's in front of me. You know, so I'm going to take that trade, and I got in, got out there, and like I said, that was £25, about $35. That's fine. It's more in the bank.
Barbell, though, is we're overweight a basket of reopening stocks that we think have been beaten down. They've rallied at various times over the last year.
I see. You could almost say this is like a form, like a mini W now that we've in down because it bounced off our trend line. You see, look down, then your leg. Small move, you see. Now, if the RSI comes out of the zone and back in again, we take buys again. If it comes down and gets down to this 65 zone, I'm taking more sells. And watch that. And then on gold, again, hasn't really done anything. It had the spike for the open. Just said would go both ways, and it did. It went sell then buy. We took the buy. We got the profit on the buy. But the rest of it, look, it hasn't done anything yet. So again, I'm still waiting for one, two. I might do two, three sells on gold yet. So we'll just hold on that as well. So you know, because it's Christmas, the time of year, the Omicron thing, lack of potential news. This is why you get. You know, on the US30 you've got the move because of the Omicron, but on gold there's nothing there. You know, I expect this to drop a bit more, but we'll see. Say we've got sells, so we're just holding. US30 now. Now we can adjust our TP. If we zoom out, see, come back.
If you're looking for cyclicality, look at a sector like financials. You know, it has the highest
the US30 from
interest rates, and it is more insulated to some of the
yesterday's losses, which was all this. Look, big W, big W. It's always spot the big W's and the small M's and W's as well. That's the good thing about it. You can take the bigger one, which is this, or we can zoom in and you trade in the little ones. Always little ones within bigger ones. That's the way the market works. See there, look, it tapped out 2 times before then. This is today, pulling back. End of yesterday, start of today, pulling back in Asian session. So
a decline in growth
Now we're at 81. We'll get into that top level, which was, I mean, it got up to 87, so still potential here for a buy. So let's have a look, just a price action on this.
But I do think that right now, frankly, curve flatteners are too expensive to be in from a portfolio standpoint.
Like I say, it's always good to take it when there's a wick down.
And I do think that we could see a little bit of a mid-cycle steepening here.
If that's going to push up.
If we start to see inflation remain
Yes. And a minute out. Excellent. Two quick nice buys there. I got 18 and 25, so that was 30, 45, 46 pounds, about $65-70 there. So another nice little scalp. This is how you do it. This is true scalping. And even if things don't go 100% your way, you don't panic, you reset, you use the analysis, you use the trading system, and you go with what's in front of you. Too many people are set on their way is the right way and just wait for the market. So you might miss out on 20, 30 trades. Well, eventually you get the one that you want, but you could have been trading those ones. I used to be like that. I used to be like, sit there looking at the chart, they're going totally opposite to me, and just going damn. And instead of actually trying to just reverse my strategy and trade the way the market's going, I would sit there and just go, wait for it to be a sell. And then think, I've just lost a load of money because I didn't trade it, even if I end up breaking even. So this is the good thing about how we trade now and how the AXE system like this helps us. I'm getting these extra buys here that I never expected. Two more buys. RSI. And again, I don't mess around. I'm not putting stop losses in and all this stuff because I know, look, things like this, look, there's blue zones formed, so that would be out of it. So I've got it there, and like I say, if I'm taking, you know, $20, $30, $40 an entry, that'll do, because I know I'm going to be doing 20, 30 trades to make my money. That's how I've got my system. That's how the kind of trader I am. Whereas those guys who are looking for $100, $150 per trade, they're the ones who get burnt, especially on a smaller time frames where you can't do it. Look at the drop now, you see, here we go. Now we've got a chance to collect some of the sells.
Certainly vis-a-vis the Fed. So I think that the Fed as sort of central bank of...
There was the buy that we just looked at.
Currency strength, because we have that...
Post that into the group.
A few years ago it was China. China had that room to absorb.
Now we'll see if we're going to get a pullback for the sells. Have a look.
I think we are going to take that role.
Yeah, we're just waiting to, yeah, we're actually in profit again now on the sells. Just a matter of waiting. RSI 62. Let's see it cross this neutral support line. And we might load some more sells in.
And Henry Peabody, guys, thanks a lot. Happy holidays. All right, coming up, the volatile move in the Turkish lira. It's its biggest rally against the dollar since the 1980s, after the government stepping in to shore up support for...
Yeah, beautiful sell-off now. We're in profit on the sells. Yeah, let's see if we can get... Our goal is trying to get $200. If the sink's a bit, RSI is coming down 60, I might bounce off that. Too early. Oh no, we've got 23 and 32 there, so I got 55 pounds, which is about $75, I think. So there you go, another nice little win. That just shows you how quickly the market changes. We went from the buys, we nipped in, we got out, and now we took sells. This is proper true scalping. I can read in where the market's going. This wick might clear. If RSI breaks our zone here, guess what? I'm selling again.
What do you want to know today? Ask a question
EP now.
Go to find answers now.
When you piece it together like this, it's so simple. So today now we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16 trades. 16 trades today. We're all green, and that includes the DAX. There's about 8 trades on the DAX. Yeah, so pretty good. Oh, we've got some. We're just going to end our trades on gold. We just got beautiful sell on gold. Yeah, there you go. Hit our TP. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You see, you've just got to hold your nerve. Perfect. What did we get on that? I didn't even have a chance to have a look. 22 and 20, so another $60 there. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Racking it up. This is how you do it.
Access the financial world on demand. Hear from leading economists, policymakers, and industry experts.
That's what I'm on about. 20 minutes of trading. That's it. Our target was $200, and we've actually done. Well, we did 100 on the US30 at 30, so that was good. And we're about $350 up. There you go, in the space of 20 minutes of trading. That's just, you know, and this is in a poor day, poor time of year, poor market, poor news. It can still be done. It can still be done. Again, using our system, knowing what we know. I knew we were going to get a little spike buy. Yeah, we got the spike sell first. Doesn't matter. Hold your ground because it didn't break any key levels. Then we get the break, the bounce, and this is what we expected on gold. US30 now, this is beautiful, coming into our neutral zone. You see, all this was nice manipulation. We got it. You know, we were still looking for the sells originally, so what? We ended up taking buys instead. Does it matter? As long as we've got the analysis of our charts right. And now let's look, let's go back and see. I want to see if I can grab 2 more sells. That'll do me. Get 2 more sells in. RSI is going to break and go red. You know what we're doing. It'll break this key level here. It's going to break here.
Compensate those holders of non-lira deposits for any FX losses that may occur. So let's just be clear, there's $265 billion of hard currency deposits within the Turkish banking system, and now the Turkish government is going to backstop all of that for FX losses going forward. Think about this. That's 3 to 12-month deposits.
Let's just watch. Let's just zoom in and just move my arrow. Look in the chart. There we go. Let's just see if it breaks this level here. Would be great if it does.
20%. That means the government is going to have to come up with the 5% differential. So clearly the burden is now squarely on the government's shoulders to compensate for FX losses, and that is, from a creditor's perspective, not a very good thing.
Right. Do they even have enough money to do that? Let's say they had to do it for all the deposits. For the lira deposits.
It's a great question. And what money they don't have, they're going to have to print. So what does this mean? This means their fiscal deficit is going to surge. Right now, that was one of the bright spots of Turkey, the fact that they only have a 2.7% fiscal deficit relative to GDP. That's going to rise. And more importantly, the monetary base is going to have to expand. I mean, they're going to be printing lira in order to come up with the difference if the lira continues to depreciate, and that is hyperinflationary.
All of this sounds really positive. Damien, thanks a lot. Damien Sassower joining us there. Over here in the U.S., the president's economic plan is in jeopardy as the White House is trying to revive talks with Senator Joe Manchin.
We're ready to move forward and get this done and work like hell to do that with Senator Manchin, with members of the Democratic caucus across the Democratic Party, and that's our focus moving forward.
Senator Manchin placing the blame on the White House staff and fellow Democrats in a Metro News interview saying, quote, they know the real reason what happened. It's not the president, it's the staff. And they drove some things and they put some things out that were absolutely inexcusable. For more, Bloomberg's Emery Horton is back with us. Emery, can Joe and Joe come to some kind of deal here?
Well, it does sound pretty personal and a lot of politics involved. But on the heels of a Sunday evening phone call between the two Joes, Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia and the President Joe Biden, it does seem like that hard no is potentially possibly a maybe, and that there is this open door to negotiate a policy framework. What Senator Manchin really is pushing for is revenue changes, especially when it comes to the tax code, as well as to make sure that pre-kindergarten for all U.S. Citizens and students is fully paid for 10 years. One item that is definitely going to be up for a big debate is the child tax credits. Those at this end of this year are now going to be expired. And this is something that is pivotal for the president and is going to be part of his legacy that he wanted in there. Many progressives want it. And Senator Manchin has a lot of reservations about it. And really the key, Alex, is that even if the president can get Senator Manchin on board, he still has 49 other senators to deal with. And their priorities potentially don't match up with those of Senator Manchin. It'll be interesting to see what happens tonight because the
There's the break. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh my God, we're in and we're out. Woohoo! What did I tell you? What did I tell you? That was a monster sell. I can't believe it. I'm just so amazed. I'm done for the day. That's all my positions closed. I had two sells that I was running from the open, which was obviously here. Beat that level, dropped down, I let them run because I knew it would come back to me. And look at that, 250 points. What did I catch on that win? Let's have a look. I'm all closed and done. 104 and 105, £200 for $300. We've more than doubled in 20 minutes. There we go. Look at that. Perfect, perfect. Scalping. If that doesn't prove true scalping.
What they didn't get done on the campaign trail in November.
That's such a good point. All right, Emery, thanks a lot. Really appreciate Emery Hardern joining us there. All right, let's get a look at your sector breakdown here. We're about 20 minutes into the start of trading. You're still seeing a lot of green.
We're there. We're done. So that is it. So I'll just post on my trades for the open. But that, in terms of the open, we're less than 30 minutes, which is what I wanted to do. I want to trade this Euro news in a second. Here's everything I've traded from the open. Just got that. Everyone can see.
You're looking at a fundamental perspective. The idea that the Omicron variant still is actually spreading and raging, really affecting that growth outlook. To the downside, though, you have consumer staples and healthcare. Once again, these were the two sectors that were the outperformers yesterday. Once again, on that classic variant growth trade. So classic turnaround Tuesday, even on a sector basis. I want to take a quick look at those small caps, though, because that's
so we looked for $300 and we ended up with about 600. So
where you really saw that reopening trade, the idea that economic prosperity, this fiscal stimulus, it was
this is how you do it. This is what I'm saying. Other people are messing around, examining, waiting for the first half an hour before you trade the markets. You know, oh, I'm scared of this and the news. Just learn how to trade it. Get a system like this. Learn how to trade. It frustrates me because I'm not saying we don't take losses. We know we take losses. We know we get it wrong sometimes. But on the whole, this is how we deliver it. You guys know that. And even on a day like today, that was a surprise. I'm excited because I love it when I get a nice surprise from trading. I thought it would be, you know, like I say, I'm lucky to get $100 today on the open. But there you go. It just shows you can do this. All you've got to do is trust in the system and wait. There was the drop. That drop, beautiful. And RSI is coming back up. It doesn't matter. There was the sell down to our bottom TP level. Bang, right down on the breakout zone. If you have a look, go to these. You get my point, you know what I mean? If you follow the patterns, believe in the system, the market comes to you in the end, and you don't have to rush in and do any crazy revenge trading or anything like that. Like I say, I had two sells open, you know, they went into deficit, they went into drawdown, but at the same time I'd done 6 trades going the opposite way, so it was I was break even. You're right. Common sense coupled with patience and don't being greedy, and give what the market gives you, and that's it. You're quite right. That's you know, that I just said in my group, and that's exactly right. If the market decides to give me just $50 today, then that's all I take, because a lot of people aren't trading. But that just shows you what you can do, you know, with this system. But all we needed was, like I say, was to go red. As soon as we got red, I had sales in there anyway. I'm waiting for that break. This is where you could have had a new trade in, gone for the 100 pips. Or I held for a bit longer because I was waiting for it to hit that bottom TP, which it did. Perfect.
No matter how ambitious, get your share of progress. iShares. Invest in something.
Golden AC is still doing the same thing.
This is Bloomberg's The Open. I'm Alex Steele in for Jonathan Farrow. Let's take a look at these markets here. Volume kind of could be better.
And we've got 3 minutes to the European consumer news, so let's have a quick look at DAX now. It's
just 0.5%. We haven't recouped all those losses.
the W look and an M, so I wonder if there's going to be bad news. Consumer confidence might not do anything. Higher than expected figure is positive for the euro, so you know it might not impact the DAX. It might do. You can trade euro USD.
That typical trade now kicking back in, particularly in the back end here. You're selling on the 30-year up by about 4 basis points. The same for the 10-year. The curve a little bit steeper.
I'm going to stick with the DAX. I was going to see how the DAX responds to this news. So it's looking at -8, which means it's lower. The lower the figure is negative, so we'll look to take a sell.
Wednesday, and a host of economic data crossing on Thursday, including another round of initial jobless claims and UMich consumer sentiment survey.
Yeah.
And finally, on Thursday and Friday, U.S. markets closed. I think we're all really counting down to that moment. This is the countdown to the open on this Tuesday. We'll catch you tomorrow. This is Bloomberg.
Perfect scalping. So 2 minutes to go to the news. Just giving us a quick update. The DAX is nicely set up. To go. Sentiment, DAX is high, look. Okay, let's stick on the news, have a look, see what we're going to get. 1 minute to go. So we'll just throw a bit. Seems, you know, we've had a good day. We take a loss, but again, you don't try these things, you never know next time what's worth trading and not. So let's have a look at the DAX again. You know, I'm just going to look for 50 points, not going to look for anything stupid. I just want to see if this actual news actually does anything, correlates to moving the DAX or not, or whether it's just purely going to move something like the Euro USD, Euro GBP, you know, pair. So
I think there are a few things that are not very clear yet with them. One, it is the
again, we've done with gold, we've done US30. You know what I mean? You guys, you know, you can follow this. There's potential for more sales here on gold. There's potential for a reversal buy on US30. For those who know how the system works, this is how you can follow it and just get the pips you want for the day. Again, just go to the website www.mohawkforex.com. Get me as your mentor. 20 seconds to go on this consumer confidence for December. Pre-market news, as it's, you know, might have an impact on tomorrow's open to some degree as well. Preliminary release, as it says. There we go. So it's worse than expected. So let's see. Some little bit of a sell-in. They're doing in and out on this. Nothing major. Let's see what happens.
And as you say, there was a big gap in between people that were worried about climate and people that were taking action.
Let's see if anything's worth trading or not.
Months after Hurricane Maria, Puerto Rico is still in peril. Huge swaths of the island are still without power, running water, or access to medical care. Experts estimate that it will take years before these services are restored island-wide. Much of the blame has been placed on FEMA for a slow response in comparison to recent disasters on the mainland. But recovery from a disaster of this complexity and scale is more challenging than anyone anticipated. And filling the gaps between an overextended public sector and a suffering populace falls on the private citizens.
We'll just hold and see. Get anything?
The eye of the storm came in south of El Yunque, swept up towards San Juan and into Arecibo. Everything on the right-hand side is what we call the dirty side of the storm.
This isn't his first time in a disaster zone. With a military and telecom background, Anderson worked on repairing damaged cell phone towers in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. Some might be tempted to label him a disaster capitalist, seeking lucrative government contracts for his expertise. But as Anderson finds himself in the middle
And if you're going to sell, you'd wait and you'd take that at the top of that wick there. I mean, that was the key point. Not broken any key levels here. No, it spikes up, it's not. So,
communications restored. It may or may not have power, but basic services are in place. They're able to get food. They're able to buy things. They're surviving. And when you look outside of the
actually between green
you can go 15 minutes from here
and red, but this is good.
I'm working on the devastated side.
Today, he's put together a boots-on-the-ground mission to provide medical care to some of the island's most isolated and vulnerable residents. Steve Barenbaum is one of Anderson's business associates. He offered an extra car and a set of hands.
Hasn't really done anything. It's not really, you know, it's not one that's made a real spike or anything. So, you know, we could just end this one. But let's have a look at. We trade anything with Euro in, to be honest with you. So.
Filled the van with medical supplies at her own expense and brought along a team of nurses. Google Maps estimated our first destination to be a 90-minute drive. But it didn't account for obstacles like this.
$6.38, it's about $20. There we go, we're out. What do we get? Oh, 10 and 18. So we've got £20, about $30. There you go, look. Again, not a major one. I'm scrapping around just to trade news events, but again, it's still a win. Still got the sell. There you go. 2 small spells on DAX. Only because I don't want to hang around. I mean, you know, you might be able to hold her out. When it's in the neutral zone, it's always dodgy.
FEMA was not officially part of Robert's team, and their arrival caught everyone by surprise. Their job here was to survey and report back to their superiors, and did not come with medical aid of any kind.
People think that FEMA is there to hand out bottles of water. It's not what they do. FEMA has a role.
Cheeky $30, you know what I mean? But it all adds up. And see, I'm not going to tell you whether you should hop this, whether you should get rid of it, you know, end it. For me, I just, because it goes in and out, I was in a profit, out of profit, in, out of profit. I'm thinking there isn't really a move, so I'll just wait for it to go green and take it. Could have been a 5, it could have been a 10, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it could drop down now, but that might have nothing to do with the actual news. I'm trying to focus the system around the news events. And obviously the news was bad, put a sell in, and okay, I got $30, you know, so you could say it was a win. You know, this is where you have to learn individually. Take what the market gives you, as someone just said. If there had been a 5, if it had been a loss, it wouldn't have mattered, because we've just nailed $600 in 25 minutes anyway. You know, so this is what you have to learn by practicing and not panicking and evaluating. Too many people hold. You know, I hold when you have to hold, and I don't hold when I don't need to hold, and that's the skill. That's a practice, and I can tell you where to get in on a trade as I'm doing with the setups. But to get out of the trades, like I said, I don't set too many TPs. I look for those 50 to 100 points. If I'm not going to get it, I'm not blind. And look, it's gone up now. You see, yeah, it's gone green up. So that would have been a small loss. This might come back down again. I could hold it, but I don't really want to hold something that hasn't got any kind of movement behind it. DAX in the afternoon, everything's easing down, but we took a little win. There you go. You see, I just wanted to just show you that you could trade this. You know, it was only a medium impact news anyway. It wasn't directly related to the DAX because it's the euro, but it's still, you know, DAX is the euro. It's the biggest stock market in Europe, so there is a correlation, but not so much as trading a Forex pair, which I wouldn't do because you might only get 1-2 pips, you know. But it just shows you, even with these little news events, if you practice them on demo first, you make a list like I do. You make a list of which news events are worth trading on which indices or pair. That's how you do it. Then you build up a little portfolio of bonus trades that if you haven't got the time to trade all day, you can just say, I'm going to trade these news events and I should get my pips. That's what it's all about. So what we're going to do, we will be back live later in my trading group. We'll probably trade this crude oil. We know the API crude oil has done really well for us over the last few weeks, and as you know, with this one, with the news result, we go the way of it with trading XTI, WTI, West Texas oil. And if you trade in the dollar, you go the opposite. And that's pretty much what it says here. Look, it's, you know, I'm not making anything up. It's all here actually on my FX book. So we'll be back later, trade some of this, see if we can catch some pips towards the end of New York session as well. But as it's a Christmas, I've got to do some Christmas shopping. You know, easy come, easy go with the money. That's the thing we're trading. Got to be strict. But and tomorrow we're going to be live for a lot longer. We're going to do you know, a good session here. As you can see, we've got the new. We're going to be live 15 minutes before the first news event. Obviously, trade the reverses as we always do. We know how to trade all this. Then we've got the open. Then we've got existing home sales and consumer confidence for the US, and then half an hour after that we've got the EIA crude oil news as well. So plenty to trade. We're going to be live from 1:15 UK time till about 4 PM tomorrow. That's going to be a real good session. Plenty of news. Got news in the morning, pre-market open in London. Again, all at €7. So this is good. We can trade the reverseness in the euro and go with it in the so great day tomorrow. And then obviously that is it, because obviously Thursday there is news events, but I'm probably going to be busy. Again, I've got stuff to plan for Christmas, like we all have. But I would still hope I can try and trade the Michigan and the initial jobless claims when they come out around lunchtime. And obviously we're into the holiday season. But yeah, it was good. Yeah, look, there's the DAX, you see. So we did the right thing getting out of the trade, look, because we took the sell. It didn't really happen. We got out and then it's gone for a buy. You know, it's might come back down, but would you want to be holding this? It's kind of topped out. There's a chance it could drop, but always got to be, you just got to be careful. You know, you've got to be careful. Back on US30, it's in a bit of a range now, waiting for some more major news. And gold has took a drop. Oh, nice re-entry on gold there, you see. Look, just spotted that. Look at that, that's perfect. That's what you want to see, is a nice RSI break. Right in front of your eyes. Look at that, you see. Nice. Got down to 22 already. Pretty good. On the sell, which is where the market's been heading. Look at that. There, that would be nice. There's a good setup. Might have already, well, I was too late to get in, but that was a good one. Spotted the RSI. RSI is 23. Hasn't been down these low levels for quite a while, since 6 this morning. This could be good. Goes to 21.22. Wick will fill. We'll fill the wick. We'll get that TP. And like I said, it just shows, look, how accurate our points of interest is. Look, our price is always a zone, always just above, always just below the lines, never on it. Look, that's what you want to look for. We'll just watch this before we end the live stream. I just want to see how this plays out. It's quite an interesting trade to see. Oh, looks like it wants to push a bit lower. It's quite good. Watch this. Pushing down, beautiful, another red candle, 22, now so it gets to 21.
When I met him first online, I found him to be really sweet. I think I was the one who was talking for an hour. He was just listening.
When we met, I saw her. She was beautiful, intelligent, and kind.
Oh, side 23, look, hanging around the same kind of area.
Anshu and Sumit are one of about 12 million couples that get married in India every year. Unlike their parents' generation, they're not from two close villages, but from two cities on opposite sides of the country. And their love didn't start through community matchmaking, marriage brokers, or classified ads in newspapers, but began online.
So we met through
RSI now 24, but still hanging around on that zone. So, you know, if someone put a sell in as you saw it, then you'd be in profit. You've got the blue zone here, so you'd be out, but you're just still caught. Even if it's half of that candle, you're still caught 50 to 100 on that spike. So, pretty good. Yeah, I just didn't spot. I didn't have it on my other screen, so I was going to watch that and see, but obviously it's just going to play around for a little bit.
Where Anshu and Sumit met, is one of the biggest players. Young Indians looking for love set up profiles, including their
Now you're going to start forming the W pattern on the what you want.
appears to be changing.
We have seen the
All that,
shift from traditional caste community.
will come down to there before doing a tap. It's got to break that trend line for analysis to be wrong, you know, or if you were in a sell, you're looking to get out, so you want it to break this trend line. This is what we could be looking at.
Agree for the proposal, but it
Wrong.
was primarily our decision that we wanted
Who's
to
that?
agree with each other.
So what's the emoji like you use the most to send to each other?
There's a bear which is basically used for indicating a hug.
Yeah, that's our language basically. Bear icon for a hug.
Time flies when you're in love, and just 1.5 months after they first met online and got engaged, they decided to hold
Great stuff. Right.
3 months later.
Well, as you can see, we've had a good session there. Like I say, it was over $600 in profit, and
3 days has various ceremonies and celebrations and involves the entire
we will be back later on to trade some news on the oil.
Searched online, we got in touch with Wedding Brigade and they helped us finalize the venue. It makes the search faster and efficient.
Startups like the Wedding Brigade are challenging traditional wedding planners in this $50 billion industry. It provides various services from booking banquet venues to buying wedding gowns. The website makes money by
Well, yeah, I'm going to end it there. So this is going to pop up now. Again, you would go back in on the sell. If this comes back down again, just hold your position. So it's all good. So thank you everyone for joining again. Quick live stream just to show you can do this without any kind of major news event. And we'll be back later on to do some oil. So until then, take care everybody and stay safe.